Hey folks, it's your boy Tag coming at you with another DCS video. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the biggest debates in DCS, PvP versus PvE. Whether you're a new pilot just learning to cold start your jet or a seasoned virtual fighter ace, you've probably wondered which one is better. The truth is, both PvP and PvE offer completely different experiences, and each comes with its own strengths and frustrations. So in this video, we're going to break down the pros and cons of each, talk about what kind of player they suit best, and help you decide where you should spend your time in DCS. So, let's get into it. First up, PvE, or Player versus Environment. This is where you're flying against AI-controlled enemies. That can include campaign missions, dynamic servers, or custom scenarios where you're fighting computer-controlled aircraft, ground units, and air defenses. PvE is where most players start, and for good reason. The biggest advantage is accessibility. PvE lets you learn at your own pace. You can pause, restart, or replay missions without the pressure of other players watching, or shooting you down in 30 seconds. It's also great for immersion. Well-designed missions can feel like you're part of a real military operation. You'll have briefing documents, voiceovers, coordinated strikes, and structured objectives. It's less about winning a dogfight and more about completing a mission. Another big plus is stability. AI behavior is predictable compared to human players. That might sound like a downside, but when you're learning radar systems, weapons employment, or navigation, predictability is actually helpful. Now, the downside. AI in DCS can be inconsistent, to put it nicely. Sometimes it's too easy, and other times it feels unrealistically perfect. AI can pull impossible maneuvers or react instantly in ways a human never could. That can break immersion and make engagements feel unfair. PvE can also become repetitive over time. Once you understand how the AI behaves, missions can start to feel scripted, and you might find yourself doing the same patterns over and over again. And finally, there's the lack of true unpredictability. No matter how good the mission design is, AI won't surprise you the way a human can. So, now let's talk about PvP, player versus player. This is where things get serious. In PvP, you're flying against real people on multiplayer servers. That means every engagement is dynamic, unpredictable, and often brutally challenging. So, what are the pros of PvP? Well, the biggest advantage here is realism in behavior. Human pilots think, adapt, and make mistakes. They'll bait you, flank you, and exploit your weaknesses in ways AI simply can't. This creates incredibly intense and rewarding gameplay. When you win in PvP, it feels earned. You're not just beating a script, you're outsmarting another person. PvP also has a massive skill ceiling. There's always something to improve, whether it's your situational awareness, communications, radar management, or energy fighting. You'll never truly master it, as they say, and that's part of the appeal. Another major pro is the community aspect. Flying with or against real players can be a lot more engaging. Coordinated teamwork, voice comms, and squadron operations bring a whole new level of depth to DCS. So, what are the cons of PvP? Well, let's look at the downsides. PvP can be extremely punishing, especially for beginners. You might spend 20 minutes flying to a combat zone just to get shot down before you even see your opponent. It can also be frustrating. Some players are highly skilled, and the skill gap can feel overwhelming. Without proper training, you might struggle to even survive, let alone succeed. There's also less structure compared to PvE. While some servers simulate real operations, many PvP environments are more freeform, and while not necessarily a bad thing, sometimes it can feel like an aerial game of Call of Duty. That can mean less immersion for players who enjoy story-driven missions. And finally, time investment. PvP often requires more preparation. You need to understand your aircraft deeply, know your weapons, and be ready to adapt on the fly. So let's talk about how each mode helps you improve as a pilot. PvE is fantastic for building foundational skills. It's where you learn how your aircraft works, startup procedures, navigation, weapon systems, and basic tactics. You can practice without pressure and refine your techniques. Think of PvE as a training ground. PvP, on the other hand, is where those skills get tested. It forces you to think faster, react under pressure, and deal with unpredictable threats. You'll learn things in PvP that simply don't come up in PvE, like how to counter human tactics, manage limited information, and stay calm in chaotic situations. The best players in DCS usually spend time in both PvE to learn, PvP to refine. Another key difference is what you're looking to get out of the experience. If you enjoy immersion, being part of a story, following a mission plan, and feeling like a real pilot, PvE is often the better choice. Campaigns and co-op missions can be incredibly atmospheric and rewarding. But if you're driven by competition, PvP is where the adrenaline is at. There's nothing quite like knowing another player is hunting you, or that you've just outmaneuvered someone in a dogfight. It's tense, it's unpredictable, and it keeps you on edge. That said, some servers blend both worlds, PvE-focused environments with human players working together, or PvP scenarios with structured objectives can offer the best of both worlds. So, which one is right for you? If you're new to DCS, I personally would recommend you start with PvE. Learn your aircraft, get comfortable with the systems, and build confidence. There's no rush to jump into PvP. If you're looking for a challenge and want to push your skills to the limit, try PvP. Just be prepared. It's a steep learning curve, but it's incredibly rewarding. And honestly, you don't have to choose just one. Many players switch between PvE and PvP depending on their mood. Some days you want a structured mission, other days you want the chaos of real opponents. At the end of the day, PvP and PvE aren't competing modes. They're complementary. PvE teaches you how to fly. PvP teaches you how to fight. So try both. Find what you enjoy, and don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. And that's all I really have to say about that one. So, if you found this video helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more DCS content, and let me know in the comments, which do you prefer, PvP or PvE? As always, this is your boy AdlerTag saying thanks for watching, and remember, wheels up, stay safe, and I will see you on the deck. AdlerTag out.